Good evening. This is BelGeode, and it is time once again for some Microsoft Flight Simulator Xtreme Edition. Yay! Alright, well, you probably recognize this view because this is where we left off the last time. We are still here at KMCO, otherwise known as Orlando, Florida. And we had a good visit with Mickey Mouse and all his friends, and we're ready to move on to the next leg of our flight. So now today we are going to be flying to Navy City, otherwise known as Pensacola, which is actually a place that I've been to in real life. I went to the Pensacola Naval Air Museum a few years ago, actually. One of my really good friends, Janine, took me there, and it was a most extraordinary journey. So, I've always wanted to visit that airport, didn't get a chance to when we were there, so we're going to do it virtually today. Alright, so, I don't know if you all remember from last time, but we are kind of low on gas. So that's going to be our first priority today, is to fill up the tank. And I believe the gas pump that we need is literally right behind us over there. So what we're going to do first and foremost is we're going to start up the engine and we're going to head back over there. But before we do that, I want to call your attention to something very important here. If you look around, you will see there are some noticeable differences to this airport. Look at the ground, and you'll notice that the concrete looks a little bit different. And if you look at the sky, you'll see that there are more clouds, and the clouds actually look different. Why is that, Bell, you probably ask? Well, the answer is simple. Today I purchased and downloaded REX, which is Real Environment Xtreme. Cost me about $35 thereabouts US. Honestly, folks, if you're flying Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is pretty much the only add-on that you need to give your airports, your sky, your clouds, your landing lights, everything a more realistic look. This is quite possibly one of the most awesome things ever created for FSX. So yeah, it's called REX, or Real Environment Xtreme. Highly recommend that you get it. And I just can't stop raving about this thing. It's like a night and day difference. Oh my God. Well, I could sit here and gush about it forever, but honestly, that's not going to put gas in our tanks. So let's go ahead and start the engine, and we'll head over there and see if we can fill up our tanks here. Alright, I have the track IR off for now. We will turn it on when we're just about ready to fly, but it makes life a little bit easier for me. Once again, we're cold and dark, and once again, these switches still keep flipping themselves to the on position, but we're not even going to care about it right now. So, we got the master on, we got the generator bus tie on, avionics bus tie is on, and I'm going to go ahead and put the lights on. I don't know if you caught in that last video, I actually forgot to turn on the nav lights completely. We're not going to make that mistake this time around. And before I do anything else, I'm also going to want to put on our oxygen since we are going to be flying pretty high today. I've actually got the flight plan set for about 20,000 feet because I'm expecting some heavy weather between here and Pensacola. Typical Florida afternoon. There's always got to be some kind of thunderstorm. And before we start the engines, we also need to make sure the fuel cutoff is latched. Okay. I think that's just about everything for now. We can do the rest of it after we've got gas. So let's get our Saphir turbine starter on. And we'll wait the 20 to 30 seconds for it to pop up right about here. I won't worry about the cockpit lights just yet. We'll do all of that in a little bit. I will, however, change around the trimmers. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm trimming, it's like right here. You'll see this little needle move down as I trim the controls. So when that blue light lights up, we're pretty much centered. Oh, good Lord. Here we go. Alright, let's go ahead and start the engine.
Using taxiway Juliet, Bravo 4, American 1606.
Okay, so we're waiting for that to come up. Should be any second now. There we go. We got a good ignition. Very nice, very nice. All right, Allie, go ahead and close your cockpit, and then I will close mine. There we go. She's all buckled up. Looking good, babe. Looking good. And myself. Okay, so let's see if we can turn around and head to that gas pump real quick here. Turn off the brakes. Pull up the throttles. I think if we make a left turn, we should be good here. Okay, where is it? There it is. So what we want to do is we want to park like right in front of it, directly in front of it, and it should automatically fill up our tank. So keep your eye on this needle here. Right about here should do the trick. There it goes. Look at that, just like magic. Didn't even have to turn off the engine for that. How about that? Alright, so let me pick a nifty little parking spot here, and then we'll finish up our startup sequence. Still got one light on the warning panel. That's going to be for air conditioning.
With X-ray, ready to taxi IFR. American 1768, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 36, right via taxiway Juliet 1 Charlie 1 Charlie, Bravo 5 Bravo, Bravo 10.
Okay,
Tower on 124.
right here looks good.
Taxi 2 and hold short, runway 36, right via taxiway Juliet 1 Charlie 1 Charlie, Bravo 5 Bravo, Bravo 10.
Good
American
grief.
1768.
Alright guys, could you like shut up for a second so I can finish my startup sequence here? Thank you, I'd appreciate that. Okay, first things first, let's drop the flaps. One notch. Turn the lights on, including the cockpit light.
Orlando ground. United 1418 with X-ray, ready to taxi IFR. United 1418.
Alright, let's see if we can get the de-icer on. Come on, de-icer, work. There we go.
Bravo 9er Bravo, Bravo 10. Contact tower on 124.3 with ready.
Okay, we've got that on. And let me just make a cursory glance here.
Right via taxiway Echo 1 Echo Charlie, Bravo 9er Bravo, Bravo 10. United 1418.
GPS. And let's set that to terrain mode.
Orlando ground, United 1256 with X-ray, ready to taxi IFR. United 1256.
Good grief. Remind me to turn down the amount of traffic that's in this game, because holy crap, that is ridiculous.
Bravo 9er Bravo, Bravo 10. Contact tower on 124.3 with ready.
Okay, I think we're pretty much set to go, so let's go ahead and see if we can call the tower and get our clearance before the conga line heats up.
United 1256.
Oh, what is this? Wait, why do I have a progressive taxi? Oh, you know what happened? When we came down the last time, we didn't actually park in the spot that they designated for us, so it still wants us to park there before it gives us the options to talk to the tower. Alright, not a problem. Let's see if I can find the spot.
Southwest 368.
We'll keep this open.
Ready to taxi IFR. Southwest 368. Taxi 2 and hold short of runway 35 left via taxiway Golf 1 Golf Foxtrot Hotel.
35 left. Sounds like they're taking off to the north.
11.45 when ready. Taxi 2 and hold short runway 35 left using taxiway Golf 1 Golf Foxtrot Hotel 10. Southwest 368.
It's going to be some crowded skies over Orlando in a minute. Alright, let's pull up right here, and then my menu should change.
JetBlue 1075, taxi to gate 105 via taxiway Foxtrot Hotel 1. Taxi
Am I in the right spot?
105 using taxiway Foxtrot Hotel 1. JetBlue 1075.
I don't appear to be in the right spot. Well, what the hell? Yeah, this looks like the parking spot. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Taxi to takeoff options. Okay. Now we can contact the tower. But first, let's tune the ATIS and we'll see what the weather conditions are like.
Orlando Airport Information X-ray 2250 Zulu. Wind 046 at 5. Visibility greater than 20 miles. Sky condition 4,000. Scattered. Ceiling 9,500. Broken. Temperature 232.21. Altimeter 3012. ILS. Runway 35. Right. ILS. Runway 35. Left. ILS. Runway 36. Right and visual. Runway 36. Left in use. Landing and departing. Runway 35. Right. Runway 35. Left. Runway 36. Right and runway 36. Left. VFR aircraft stay direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have X-ray.
Okay, so now that we have our weather, we can go ahead and call the tower and tell them that we are ready to take off. If you're wondering what that is in the distance, that is an Aer Lingus, which is the Irish airline.
Southwest 3960, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 35 left via taxiway off 1 call.
Come on, people, hurry up.
Hotel 10. Contact tower on 118.45 when ready. JetBlue 1075.
Good grief.
Departing to Rare.
Let me turn on the track IR while I'm waiting for these guys to shut up.
Taxi, hold short, runway 35, left using taxiway off 1, off Foxtrot, Hotel 10, Southwest 3960.
I'm going to turn on the landing lights as well, because they also function as taxiing lights. Okay, looks like we might get a word in edgeways, so let me make the call. We're going to tell them we want to depart to the north. Orlando ground, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, ready to taxi, departure to the north with Yankee.
Experimental November 70 Alpha
Thought we had
Golf
X-ray.
Bravo, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 36 left using taxiway Alpha 3. Contact tower on 118.45 when ready. JetBlue 1075.
They changed it on us. We had X-ray before.
Roger, JetBlue 1075. Orlando ground.
Oh, come on.
Request taxi to the gate. JetBlue 934, taxi to gate 109er via taxiway November 3, November, Juliet, Lima, Kilo, Hotel 1.
Taxiing, hold short, runway 36 left via taxiway Alpha 3, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Ah, finally, I got a word in.
Taxiway November 3, November, Juliet, Lima, Kilo, Hotel 1.
Okay, Allie, you ready to go, dear? I think Allie's ready to go. I know I'm ready to go. Let me make sure everything's on. So we got the landing lights on, strobes on, beacons on, nav lights on, de-icer is on. Oxygen should be flowing. Yep, sure is. And everything else looks golden. Flaps are down. Okay, let's do this. Can't wait to get the hell out of here. This is apparently a very busy airport. Alright, so our trip to Pensacola, according to my flight plan, should take us about an hour. This is going to be one of the longer legs. In future, I'm going to try and keep the trips about 30 minutes flying time, so that will make for about a 1-hour video. This one's going to be extra long, so that doesn't really affect you watching this. It just means I'm going to have a lot more editing to do during this, so you'll see a lot more cuts. But we'll take one final look at Orlando Airport there as we make our way to the runway. And let's see what kind of traffic we've got waiting for us over at 36 left. Wow, look at all those planes over there. Holy crap. Probably going to have some parallel takeoffs going. Oh, and just so you know, I did do some tweaks to Flight Simulator, so that way I can actually squeeze a little bit more FPS out of it, because I do know that the FPS was not exactly ideal. Something about using fraps with this seems to be giving me this issue, but I don't really have too many other options for recording. I could use OBS, but to be honest with you, I would rather not. Not a huge fan of how the recordings come out using OBS. I might try something else down the line, but we'll see how that works out. We'll address that later. Now, one thing you will notice that Rex added, in addition to like the taxiway materials, colors, and so on, you'll see those little taxiway signs are now a hell of a lot shinier. I don't know if you can see that one there. It's got like a little shine to it. I think this is our turnoff here. Yeah, I see the end of the runway there. Such an amazing download. Oh my god. I can't say it enough. You're probably going to hear it multiple times throughout this recording. Get Real Environment Xtreme. If you get nothing else for Flight Simulator, get that. Well worth it. And there goes a United taking off. Another plane over there. Alright, baby, line up. Line up. There we go, 3-6 left. Alright, I'm going to brake right about here, so that way we can call the tower. Okay, seatbelts are fastened. Trays in the upright position.
Orlando.
And Orlando Tower, we are ready to go. Orlando Tower, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo at runway 36 left, ready for takeoff, north departure.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, cleared for takeoff, runway 36 left, caution to Boeing 757, taking off runway 36 right, departure to the north approved.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 36 left, Alpha Golf Bravo. And yes, I do see the 757 ahead of us. We'll let him take off first. He's a much bigger plane, therefore he's probably got the right of way. In the meantime, let me make sure there's nothing coming in. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay,
Orlando Tower, Southwest 368, ready for IFR departure, runway 35 left.
Southwest 368, cleared for takeoff, runway 35 left.
Look at the grooves. You can actually see grooves in the concrete.
Left, Southwest 368.
And wow, look at all those tire marks. Damn, that was not there before. That's all Rex. Okay, this should be our lineup right here. As usual, we're going to need to run the engines up. Whoop. Had my rudder turned. Alright, let's get in position here. Okay. Come on, plane. Work with me, plane. Work with me. There we go. Alright, let's make sure everything checks out. Yep, looks like everything's on. Everything's good. Trimmers are at neutral. Okay, we are ready to go. Let's do our engine run up. Brakes down. Throttles up. Wait till it gets over 100%. That would be right there. Okay, looking good. Full throttle. Brakes off. Wow, look at that guy. Where the hell is he going? That was some turn there, buddy.
Orlando Tower, Southwest 3960, ready for IFR departure, runway 35 left. Southwest 3960, taxi into position and hold.
Okay, we are at rotation speed.
Contact Orlando departure.
See you later, Aer Lingus. Oh, look, there's a Spirit Air over there, too. Spirit is cool. They go to Fort Lauderdale. They don't actually fly to Pittsburgh. Alright, gear up. But they do fly to Latrobe, which is kind of close. Flaps up. And let's take one final look at Orlando. See you later, Orlando. Thanks for the fish. Okay, GPS on.
Southwest 3960, cleared for takeoff. Runway 35 left. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 35 left. Southwest 3960. Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. You are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Alright. And here we we go. Let's request a Class B airspace transition. Orlando departure, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo is type experimental, 2 miles east of 0FL5, 17,000. Request clearance to transition to Bravo.
November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Orlando departure, squawk 0677, American 1760, contact Orlando departure on 121.1.
Let me pull the throttles down just a bit here, and then we'll respond.
American 1768.
Squawk 0677, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo, radar contact 3 miles northeast of Diner 1 Foxtrot Lima 4100, clear through the Bravo airspace. Southwest 360, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles, 5,000, Boeing 737, report them in sight.
Alright, we're going to need to turn left here.
Southwest 368, traffic in sight.
Cleared through the Bravo airspace, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Okay, here's our turn.
Southwest 3960, is climbing to 1,900 for 6,000.
And there's downtown Orlando.
60 Orlando departure, roger. Altimeter 3010, Southwest 360, contact Jacksonville Center on 133.325.
Now you can probably compare the two videos between the last one and this one and see that this one is definitely a lot more densely packed. It actually looks like Orlando.
Climb and maintain 6,000. Southwest 3960.
And I overshot my turn there. Why? Because I'm too busy looking at Orlando.
6,400. Experimental, report them in sight.
Oh, wait.
Southwest 3574, have the traffic.
Somebody looking for me?
Climb and maintain 14,000. Southwest 3574, turn left heading 335.
Turn left heading 335, Southwest 3574.
Okay, this will be our course.
Bravo. Traffic is 10 o'clock, 3 miles, 5,000, Boeing 737, report them in sight.
I don't see it.
Southwest 3960.
Yeah, I'm not going to report that in sight.
For Southwest 368.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo, traffic not in sight.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo, you're leaving my airspace. Radar service terminated. Squawk 1200, frequency change approved.
Okay. Squawk 1200, frequency change approved, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Alright, so let's tune Jacksonville Center and see if we can get some flight following going here.
Contact Jacksonville Center on 134.0.
Okay, first things first, let's turn off our landing lights. There we go.
3960, Jacksonville Center, roger, altimeter 3010.
Jacksonville Center, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo is type experimental, 3 miles of Foxtrot Lima 57, request flight following.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Jacksonville Center, squawk 5272.
Squawk 5272, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. See, I did that one right.
Alpha Golf Bravo, radar contact 2 miles northeast of Foxtrot Lima 57, 11,200, altimeter 3010.
Copy, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Okay, so we're good. Now all we need to do is get up to our cruising altitude, which for this leg is going to be about 20,000 feet, or flight level 200. I'm going to zoom this out to about the 50-mile range. That way I got a little bit more real estate there. And you can already start to see the Gulf Coast of Florida there. That would be Tampa over there. And this is the Atlantic side. So let me show you what this looks like with north up orientation. We're going to zoom out here. Alright, so now you can see the entire flight plan. So this is us. We're just leaving Orlando. We've got to basically travel up the Florida Peninsula into the Panhandle. We're going to skirt the bottom of Georgia and Alabama, and then we're going to go due west until we reach close to Pensacola.
Contact Jacksonville Center on 133.325.
Alright, let me contact them.
Southwest 3960, climb and maintain, flight level 280.
Going to 133.325, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo.
Climb and maintain
So yeah, we have, like I said, about a 1 hour flight ahead of us. Good grief, every channel I go to there's chatter. Holy crap, can't wait till I get out of the civilized area here. Damn. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be about an hour's trip to get there, so expect to see quite a few edits along the way. Alright, but right now we are on course, so we're just going to keep climbing till we get to 20,000. Okay, Jacksonville Center, I guess I can talk to you now, huh? Jacksonville Center, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo with you, 15,600.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Jacksonville Center, roger, altimeter 3010.
I love how the weather cleared up really good, too. It was raining earlier. That is cool.
Jacksonville Center, Cactus 386 is at flight level 210, descending flight level 200. Cactus 386, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Oh wow, you can actually see both sides of Florida from here. There's the Atlantic side over there. And there's the Gulf side over there.
Heading 195. Turn right, heading 195, Cactus 386.
Okay, what's our current altitude? We're closing in on 17,000. We're about 16,700. Check my barometric pressure. Okay, we are pretty accurate right now. We're at 17,000 and going up. Once we hit 18,000, we're going to switch barometric pressure to 29.92, which is like the default pressure. Or I guess for fair weather.
Climb and maintain flight level 340. Climb and maintain flight level 340, Southwest 368.
Wow, the weather's really cleared up nicely. The other thing that I added, which now you can really get to see, I got a land class scenery, which basically populates the ground terrain, so it doesn't look nearly as empty as it would before.
Contact Orlando approach on 121.1. 121.1, JetBlue 691.
So yeah, pretty much all the towns, all the villages, the cities are more clearly indicated now. I got the land class for North America, so this covers the entire United States, plus the Caribbean, and also Canada and Mexico. So this, again, makes it look a bit more accurate, a bit more like real life. Really cool little setup, and then combine that with Real Environment Xtreme, and I would say that my FSX is starting to look pretty damn good. We'll take a look from the outside in a moment once we're stable and I've got the trimmers working here. We're at 19,000 feet, so 10,000 to go. And looks like we've got 22 minutes estimated time till the next waypoint.
Cactus 386, turn right heading 225, descend and maintain flight level 220. Turn right heading 225, descend and maintain flight level 220. Cactus 386.
How you doing back there, Allie? You still hanging in there, girl? Allie's doing great. Okay, here we go, 20,000. I'm going to level her out, and let me start working that trimmer here.
134.4 for Southwest 368.
Okay, a little too much trimmer. Alright, let's back it down some. Alright, there we go. That should be right about there. No, maybe a couple more notches. Okay, that's probably as stable as this thing is going to get without any kind of autopilot. So we're pretty much good for like the next 19 minutes here. As long as the wind doesn't change, we should be fine. Now the tweaks that I did, I also changed like the distance that the clouds draw, so it's going to look a little bit weird initially. If there's weather up ahead, you'll start seeing like one cloud here and one cloud there, and then slowly but surely they'll all start popping in, just like we're seeing up ahead here. But I promised you we would take a look outside, so here we go. And look at that. There you can see the Gulf Coast. Looking pretty. And there's one little cloud over there. I'm sure there's going to be more popping up. There's the Atlantic coast again. Okay, so now would be a great time to break out a drink and some peanuts. So, if you got them, eat them.
Descend and maintain 12,000.
I would say smoke them if you got them, but this is not the 1970s, and nobody wants to be inside of a cramped cockpit with a bunch of cigarette smoke. So, yeah, we'll pass on that. Jacksonville Center, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo with you.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Jacksonville Center, roger.
And we seem to be gaining a bit more altitude here.
Climb and maintain flight level 320, Citrus 83 Piner.
Ooh, there's a call sign I haven't heard for a while. Citrus. That is the call sign for AirTran. AirTran merged with Southwest, so now they all fly under the Southwest banner. But to be honest with you, AirTran was always one of my favorite airlines to fly in. Really cool company. I know some people complain about them from time to time, but I've always had really, really good flights with them. Matter of fact, one time, the pilot that we had that was taking us from Pittsburgh to Fort Lauderdale introduced himself on the comm as Han Solo and his co-pilot Chewie, and of course the co-pilot had to do the Wookiee roar. It was the funniest thing. So yeah, AirTran, love those guys.
Cactus 564, contact Jacksonville approach, sun 118.6.
I was really sorry to see that livery go, but business is business. And for some strange reason, my trimmers just don't seem to be keeping me at the right altitude here. Probably because we're too high up. But you can see some puffy little clouds here and there. And you can start seeing the sunset coming in. So yeah, from here on out, the sunsets and sunrises are going to look a bit different now that I've got Real Environment Xtreme installed. It's actually going to look pretty decent. You should see some nice vibrant colors. I believe the theme I'm using for this sunset is called Romantic. So it should have like some pinkish red colors and then some pretty deep blues up the top once the stars start coming out. And you can see a bunch of, what are those, stratus and cirrus clouds up there? I think those are cirrus clouds. I'm hoping we've got some good weather in Pensacola, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. I do have it set for real world weather, so every 15 minutes it actually checks the worldwide database and downloads what the current weather conditions are based on where I am. Which I think is one of the coolest things ever created for Flight Sim. Well, aside from Real Environment Xtreme, but they work hand in hand. Because this generates the weather and REX will show me beautiful clouds. Oh, so I started to tell you all earlier, yeah, I had gone to the Pensacola Naval Air Museum with my really good friend Janine, and I think probably the highlight of that entire visit was when I got to sit down in an actual F-14 Tomcat cockpit. Because when the Tomcat was decommissioned, obviously a bunch of the planes ended up being like showpieces and they were transported to museums all over the place. Well, one of the things that they do at the Pensacola Air Museum, Naval Air Museum, is they will chop the cockpit off of the plane and then they'll put the cockpit on display with the canopies open or off in some cases. So you can actually climb up in there and sit down in these cockpits that used to be on active duty. That was the absolute coolest thing for me, was to sit in the front seat of the Tomcat, which, by the way, I'm 6 foot, so I thought I wasn't going to fit properly in there. It fit like a glove. It was awesome. Oh my God. I only wish that in this lifetime I could have been a Top Gun Tomcat pilot, but alas, it was never to be. So that was as close as I would ever get was actually sitting in this thing in the middle of the museum, and folks, you should have seen the grin on my face. I think I still have a picture on Facebook. I'll have to post it on the BelGeode page. So if you haven't yet liked the BelGeode 2015 page, make your way over there and click like, and I'll post some of those pictures there for you all to see. But yeah, that was definitely the highlight of my trip. Plus we got to see some of the Blue Angel planes over the years, like when they flew the F-4 Phantom, for example. They had cockpits of those as well. You could sit in there. And the Phantom was actually a very similar layout to the Tomcat, except obviously it's a little bit older, so the instrumentation was a little bit older. And I think they even had an AV-8B Harrier. Let me tell you something, that Harrier cockpit is tiny. I could barely fit in that sucker. I don't know how the Marines do it. It was nuts. But I'm sure you can tell I had a really amazing time there, and I can't thank Janine enough for taking me there. I would love to go back some point in time. I'll have to liaison with her and see if she's interested in doing another trip down there at some point. But for now, we get to see Pensacola virtually. And maybe to make up for it, after I land here, before my next flight out, I'll probably do some aerobatics over the Gulf or something with this sucker and show you what this thing can really do. And speaking of which, my next journey, once we get down here, is going to be to New Orleans. So make sure you got your Mardi Gras beads, because you're not going to want to miss that episode. We're going to be flying from Pensacola to New Orleans.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Contact Jacksonville Center on 127.8.
I will do that. 127.8 for Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Jacksonville Center, Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo with you, flight level 201.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Alright, we're good to go. And looks like we're almost at our waypoint. What is the name of this? Virhi? I don't know how they come up with the names of these waypoints. That's just crazy.
Jacksonville Center, American
Virhi? What the hell is a Virhi?
Flight level 300, American 2009, Jacksonville Center, roger.
That reminds me, there are actually 3 waypoints in a row. I forget where exactly they are in the U.S., but I know they are in the U.S. But there's 3 waypoints in a row that read Larry, Curly, and Moe. Tell me those suckers do not have a sense of humor. Oh my god. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And we still keep veering off to the right. What is up with that? I'm really glad this weather cleared up, though. That is cool. See some rivers down there. And somewhere up there is Georgia. If you look at the GPS, you can probably see the little black line there. That denotes the Georgia border. So yeah, that would be that-a-way. We'll probably make a stop in Georgia at some point in time. I think what I'm going to do for this series is I'm probably going to stick to the eastern half of the United States. I don't necessarily want to go too much further than maybe the Mississippi, so New Orleans is right around the border. I might take a stop in Houston or maybe St. Louis or something like that. But I don't really want to go all the way out west just yet, otherwise that's going to drag this series out really long. The ultimate goal, if you'll remember, is to get back to Pittsburgh, but we are taking the scenic route. Oh, look at that. That's a Kodak moment if I've ever seen one. You ever wonder how I get the pictures for the title screen or the splash screen whenever you watch these YouTube videos before you actually click on a video? This is how. Brief Kodak moments just like this. Oh, that is just so awesome. And let's try the other side too. Oh, that is sweet. That is sweet. And there's Allie looking around. Probably bored out of her gourd. So 12 minutes to the next waypoint.
Contact Jacksonville Center on 135.325.
Okay, looks like I've got work to do. 135.325 for experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Jacksonville Center, experimental 70 Alpha Golf Bravo with you.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Alright, good deal. Okay, and if you look straight ahead, you will start to see some weather. That looks mighty ominous there. Something tells me we are probably going to run into some heavy weather over by Pensacola. Which honestly I was not prepared for. Well, we'll see how well we do.
Southwest 242, turn left heading 125, proceed on course. Turn left heading 125, resume on navigation. Southwest 242.
Alright, let's see if we can see that airport down below. I can't see it. I know it's down there somewhere. Allie, do you see an airport down there? Allie doesn't see it. Well, I know it's there. Let's try from the outside. Trying to get a point of reference here. And I got nothing but gray on that side. Looks pretty though. Looks absolutely awesome. And of course, there's nothing on that side worth looking at. Tell you one thing though, I am really glad that I remembered to turn on the oxygen. Funny thing happened when I first started flying this plane, when I first bought it. I decided I wanted to be a badass, figure the plane out myself. Wasn't going to read the manual. Yeah. Didn't read that part about the little oxygen gauge over there, or little oxygen knob. Decided to take this sucker up to 18,000 feet. Folks, let me tell you, hypoxia is a bitch. Next thing you know, I'm just flying along,
Jacksonville Center on 134.3.
and suddenly my screen goes black.
134.3, Southwest 368.
And the way that they've got this thing modeled, when your screen goes black, when you black out, your controls go dead. There is absolutely no way you can control this plane at all. So pretty much you just giving yourself a death sentence. That was probably the longest 10 seconds of my life, going down from 18,000 feet to 0. Needless to say, you only have to make that mistake once to realize never to do it again. So yeah, I am really glad that I have the oxygen on. I think you can probably last like maybe 5, at the most 10 minutes before you just pass out. And it's like there's no warning whatsoever either. All of a sudden, you know, you're flying, and next thing you know, the screen just fades to black. And at that point, by the time you notice it changing, you could go, oh shit, but it's not gonna help you. Alright, there is absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to see the ground at this point. Jeez. Okay, but at least we are near the waypoint, 11 miles out from the waypoint. Let me change the GPS setting here. We'll go to the north up view. See how much further we've got to go. Oh wow, we're about halfway there then. Okay, so once we get past here, we're going to make a slight left, and then a bit more of a left, and then we'll get here, and then a left to get to Pensacola. Cool. Of course, it'll take you a hell of a lot less time to see all of this happen than it will me, considering the fact that I'm actually flying this thing right now, and you're seeing the end result, the edited end result. And there's the sun. Oh, this is going to be a beautiful sunset. Look at those colors. So cool, so cool. Can't really see too much of the Gulf from here, but it's out there. Definitely out there. Now I am noticing that we still have a bunch of clouds up ahead. It doesn't look nearly as thick as what's back there. Oh, look at that. There's a plane up there. You can see their nav lights. Huh. Very cool, very cool. Allie's probably falling asleep back there. You still alive, Allie? Yeah, looks like she might have fallen. Oh, no, she's still awake. She's still awake. Pretty close to sunset. Gorgeous sunset, though. Look at the colors on that. Let's go back outside and take a look at that real quick here. That is a thing of beauty. I'm even going to zoom out here. Look at that. That is drop dead gorgeous. That, my friends, is what I call a Kodak moment. Right there. You can see the other side of the sunset. It pretty much looks like real life. So yeah, this theme is called Romantic. And yeah, it's definitely living up to that. It's looking pretty damn good to me. There are a whole bunch of different themes that you can pick from when you install Real Environment Xtreme. So just kind of play around with it and find something that you like, or you can download one of the themes that members in the community have posted, because REX automatically connects to the net and will allow you access to all of your peers' themes, provided of course they've uploaded them. Really, really cool stuff. Like I said, I can't stop gushing about that thing. It's just so freaking awesome. Best $35 I've ever spent, at least on this game.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Contact Jacksonville Center on 119.1.
119.1 Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Alright, let's go ahead and tune Jacksonville Center. Jacksonville Center, Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo with you, flight level 211.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Jacksonville Center, roger.
It suddenly dawned on me, we gained a lot of altitude there. Alright, let me see if I can bring us down just a touch here.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Contact Jacksonville Center on 132.1.
Really? Come on, guys, make up your mind here. 132.1 Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Jacksonville Center, Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo with you.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, Jacksonville Center, roger.
Okay, can I stay on this station for a little while now, please? Thank you. Okay. Alright, so we got the sunset coming up, and it looks like the worst of the weather is in fact behind us. It looks like there's some fog down there or something. I'm assuming that's fog. I don't think it's
Southwest
raining.
719er. Contact Jacksonville Center on 134.15.
And if you look up ahead,
15 for Southwest 719er.
you will see those pink or magenta or purple or whatever color you want to call them circles right outside this arc. This arc represents the 50-mile radius. That purple circle represents the airspace for Pensacola, which means we're almost there. So we just need to get to this waypoint, which, like I said, should take us about 5 minutes or so, and then we are coming down. So I think what I'm going to do is, once we pass Defun and head to this next waypoint, I'm going to bring us down to roughly about 13,000 feet. So I'm already going to start working the trimmer here, start pointing us in that direction, because we're about to pass the waypoint right now. And then this flight will start coming to a close. So far it's been a very nice, very peaceful flight. And there are clouds starting to spawn in the distance. What the hell is going on here? Just as I was about to say, this has been a really peaceful flight. Looks like that's about to change. Alright, well, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep heading to my next waypoint. And now that we have passed Defun, we're going to come down to about 13,000 feet. Now remember, I can't contact the airport till I'm within 30 miles. So we're just going to keep an eye on Pensacola and try to follow the path as best as we can here. Okay, Eglin Air Force Base. That's a pretty famous place. Alright, what else do we have here? Ooh, Melanie's. Melanie has her own airfield. Very nice for Melanie. Hurlburt, Whiting Field, that's Naval Air Station. Fort Walton Beach, yep, familiar with that one. And we're on the last page. Okay, so Pensacola should be popping up on the last page sometime soon. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to bring us down. We are now at 13,000 feet. Let me change our barometric pressure there. We'll also increase speed just a touch here.
United 1065. Contact Houston Center on 127.65.
Going to 127.65. United 1065.
United 259er. Turn right heading 335. Climb and maintain flight level 340.
Okay, we are heading for Pensacola.
United 259er.
Let's bring her down to about 9,000-ish. And once we get below 10,000, we'll have to remember to turn the landing lights back on. Which we're almost there. We're under 11,000 now. Oh, there's Melanie's again. Wow, she's all over the place, that Melanie. Okay, give me Pensacola, please. Oh, there's Fort Walton again. Okay, 9,000. We'll bring it down to 8. We're getting kind of close to the place anyway. There it is, number 6. Got him. Okay, now I keep forgetting to do this each time I fly, so I'm not going to forget this time. I'm going to tune the ATIS and see what the weather conditions are like at the airport.
Pensacola report information. India 0010 Zulu. Wind 114.5. Visibility quarter mile. Sky condition. Ceiling 100. Overcast. Temperature 21. Dew point 21. Altimeter 3006. ILS runway 17 in use. Landing and departing runway 17. All aircraft read back short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have India. Pensacola report information. India 0010 Zulu.
Ah, okay. Well, something in that broadcast has me taken aback a little bit here. They just said ILS runway 17 in use. That could put an end to my VFR flying for the night here. Alright, let me set up these vectors here while we're still descending. And let's call the tower and see what they say here. If the airport's under IFR, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. Pensacola Tower, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo is 24 miles north with India to land.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo. Pensacola Tower Airport is currently IFR. Request denied.
I thought as much. Okay, change of plans, people. Change of plans. Here's how we're going to work this sucker. Let's tune Pensacola approach. We'll get to a stable altitude here, and we're going to file an IFR flight plan in mid-flight. Okay, this is pretty much not how it's done in real life, but we're going to improvise here. Okay, Pensacola approach. I would like to open an IFR flight plan. Okay. Pensacola approach, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, 4 miles northwest of Kilo November Zulu X-ray. Request IFR to Pensacola, ready to copy.
November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo is cleared to Pensacola Airport as filed. Squawk 5272.
Alright. Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, cleared to Pensacola Airport as filed. Squawk 5272.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Readback correct. Radar contact 4900. Altimeter 3006. Turn left heading 225. Resume on navigation. Descend and maintain 4000.
Okay.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo.
Wait,
York
what?
19 miles northeast. Turn right heading 020. Descend and maintain 4000. Expect vectors ILS. Runway 17. Approach.
Why are they telling me to turn to the right?
Alpha Golf Bravo. Turn right heading 290. Descend and maintain 4000.
Okay, well, whichever instruction you want me to do, I will do. But I can't do both. Turn right heading 290, descend and maintain 4000, expect vectors ILS runway 17 approach, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Alright, well this is about to get really freaking interesting. 27, 28, and 29er. Alright, straighten up. We're at 4000, no, we are actually below.
Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. You're
Yep,
700 below your assigned altitude.
Okay.
4000. Altimeter 3006.
Yeah, I got you. Climb and maintain 4000, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Alright. Come on, Ally, I need you to help me out here with this. You can tell I don't often do IFR flying. If I were flying something like the Wilco Airbus...
Alpha Golf Bravo. You're 17
what now?
miles north. Turn left heading 195. Descend and maintain 1700. Cleared ILS. Runway 17. Approach. Maintain 1700 until established on a localizer. Contact Pensacola Tower on 119.9.
Okay, that's a mouthful right there. Let's see first of all if I can set up on 195, and then we'll get down to the altitude they want us to get down to. Turn left heading 195, descend and maintain 1700, cleared ILS, runway 17 approach, maintain 1700 until established, tower on 119.9, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. That's enough. Okay, I think I just passed it. No, I did not. I'm pretty close to it, but I still need to come down, and I'm seeing nothing but gray here. Nothing but gray. Oh, wait a minute. I'm seeing something. Aha! There we go. Terra firma. Okay. And I'm going to zoom this in somewhat. Okay, that is where we need to be. Can't see the airport though. I don't know what's up with that. Pensacola Tower, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo is 13 miles north, inbound ILS runway 17 approach.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo. Pensacola Tower. Fly straight in. Runway 17. Altimeter 3006.
Make straight in, runway 17, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. So it looks like my last minute IFR plan seemed to have worked. Now all I gotta do is land this sucker, provided of course I can find the airport. I'm kind of grateful that it is not exactly raining though, because that would suck. Ah, but look at those colors, the sunset, the clouds, everything is just gorgeous. Alright, concentrate. Gotta land this sucker. I'm gonna zoom this in here. Okay, we're still not quite lined up, and we're still coming in a wee bit too fast and a wee bit too low. So I'm going to pull up just a touch. We're at 1,100. We should be at 1,700. And what in the hell is going on with that? Oh no. You did not just throw fog at me. This is craziness. Alright, I gotta lower my speed so that I can get my flaps down and my gear down. We're just about lined up for the ILS approach right now. Let's stay around 1,000 here. Okay, we're just below flap speed, so let me lower the first notch of flaps. There we go. We're also going to put the gear out. Gear out. And let's hit the second notch of flaps before I completely blow this approach. Do I have it out? I think I have it out. How are we looking back there, Ally? Hope we're looking good.
Bravo. Cleared to land. Runway 17.
Okay. I'll take that. Cleared to land. Runway 17. Experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Yeah. Now would be a good time to remind you all, there's no freaking autopilot on this thing. Don't ask me how in the hell I'm going to pull this one off. Like, seriously? What is with this freaking fog? I cannot see a damn thing. What about outside view? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Well, let's keep this on, because that might be our only saving grace. Otherwise, we're going to go missed approach here. Alright, we are below 1,000. What in the hell, man? I can't help but think that I am a little too far off to the right here. Seriously? No, seriously. What the hell? Okay, wait, I think I see something. Please tell me it's not a radio pole. Oh my god, it's the runway! Yes! I'm saved! I'm also way off center. Holy crap. Okay, let's do some fancy flying here. Yeah, this would probably have my pilot's license revoked, but yeah, we're going to do it anyway. Look at that. Lined up. Pro skills, baby. Pro skills. Okay, I don't want to fall out of the sky, so gas, please. More gas. Give it more gas. Okay, we're good. And we are in minimums. That's what that amber light is. We're also sliding to the right. Seriously? Come on, baby. Oh my god, this plane. Alright, let's bring it home. Tighten your seatbelt, Ally. We're coming in. And can we do it? Drop all power. Come on, come on. And we're down. Look at that. Almost on the center line, too. Almost. That's good enough for me, though. I can deal with that. Okay, brakes. Look both ways before crossing the street. There's a terminal back there. Okay, I think this is our taxiway. Delta? Yeah, let's take this one. So how about that? Talk about last-minute changes. I really was not expecting to have to switch to IFR, but we were able to adjust accordingly.
Contact ground on 121.9.
And from the looks of it, we just beat this god-awful fog in. Holy crap. Didn't I just leave this in DCS World? Damn. 121.9er for experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Okay. Breathe a little sigh of relief here as we contact the ground. And we want taxi to parking. Pensacola ground, experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, request taxi to parking.
Experimental November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, taxi to general aviation parking to taxiway Delta Charlie 1.
Alright, I can do that. Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Delta Charlie 1, experimental Alpha Golf Bravo. Cheat sheet. Okay, well, now that we're down, I can get rid of the GPS, and I can also turn off our nav lights, because I don't think I need them on the ground. We do need the strobe and the beacon on, though. And you know what? I think I'm also going to turn off the damn track IR, because I definitely don't need that. There we go. Makes it much easier to hit these things. Alright, flaps up. That's one notch. That's two notches. Okay, and it looks like the trimmers are already centered, so that's awesome. I was hoping I would not need to readjust those. What is with this clam chowder? Look at this crap. No wonder this thing is in IFR conditions. You can't even see the sunset. Can't even see the light out there that tells that there's gas at this airport. Wow, I picked a hell of a time to come to Pensacola. But here we are. So let's get to our parking spot and we'll call this sucker done. So there we go. As always, I thank you all for flying with me. There's going to be plenty more yet to come. I will remind you that the whole point of this journey is to ultimately end up in Pittsburgh, but we're going to be taking a lot of scenic routes along the way. I'll be alternating this series with DCS World. Even though we're coming close to the end of Diablo Squadron's story for the time being. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down there, baby. Slow down. We will still be doing more DCS. So, yeah, you can expect that to alternate with FSX SE. I'm really starting to love these flights now. And now that I've gotten that Real Environment Xtreme and all the other stuff that I've been downloading, oh my god, I'm looking forward to doing more flights for you guys. Remember, the next flight is going to be to New Orleans, so make sure you bring your appetite for crawfish and gumbo. Okay, another sharp turn coming up. Seriously, Pensacola, you couldn't put like some angled taxiways in here? Damn. Alright, here we go. Charlie and then Charlie 1. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, feel free to give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe, that way you'll get more notifications as to when I do another one of these. As always, you can sign up on Twitch. You can find me on Twitch, I should say, and that is www.twitch.tv/BelGeode. Same thing for Hitbox, www.hitbox.tv/BelGeode. And don't forget to like my Facebook page, BelGeode 2015, and you can always find me on Twitter in case you just want to chit-chat. And that's also at BelGeode. Okay, I think this is our parking spot, so we're just going to pull up right here and call this sucker done. Oh, look at that. There's some kind of building over there. I have no idea what the hell that is, but it certainly looks very welcoming, very inviting, and I think Allie and I are going to go in there and see if they've got a restaurant. Alright, folks, but that will just about do it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and power down. We will call this baby done. Thanks again for flying with me, and I hope to see you all really, really soon. You all have an excellent evening, and I will talk to you all later. Ciao.